Kia, in this video we'll cover how our board meetings run. As a legal entity, we have a number of lawful obligations, such as submitting audited financial accounts and recording minutes of each board meeting. Our board typically has 8 meetings a year and they run for 2.5 hours. There's also 2 subcommittees that meet in between board meetings to carry out specific work. More about our subcommittees in a later video. An annual list of our meeting dates and key meeting items is agreed to by the board at the end of each year for the following year and is published on our website. This is called the Board Work Plan. Our board policy requires that 5 days before a board meeting, all supporting documents will be available to members. We use an online platform called BoardPro. We cover more about that in a later video. Members who wish to raise an item for discussion at a meeting should submit a short briefing paper to the board chairperson outlining their issue and the motion they wish the board to consider. This will allow other members to understand the background and the context of the issue and follow up with any further information as they see fit. Members are expected to read all board documents prior to a meeting and come ready to discuss them. This also shows respect to those who have spent time compiling the various reports and helps get the board through the many items of the agenda each meeting. The documents will include a meeting agenda, which has been prepared by the board chair, also known as the presiding member. The agenda highlights each item of the meeting, the order that item will be addressed, who will present it, and the approximate time to be spent on each item. If during a meeting the discussion for a particular topic is likely to run over time, the chairperson may defer that discussion until the next meeting so other items on the agenda can be addressed. Once the board decides on a matter by vote, good meeting practice is the matter shall not be reopened for further discussion, and any differing opinions should not be discussed outside of the meeting. Our board meetings follow a common structured business practice based on the Roberts Rules of Order, originally drafted by a US Army officer in the late 1800s. The origins of good meeting practice are well worth exploring when you have some time. The board chair ensures good meeting protocols are followed. These protocols are expanded on in our board policy, but in a nutshell they are: one person speaks at a time, the person speaking must be called by the chair, all comments made through the chair and are not directed at a member personally. Comments are confined to the issue. This helps keep the discussion focused and the board meeting on time. Discussions should alternate between pro and con arguments, not one side or the other dominating. No cross conversations between members, no verbal attacks on members. We debate the issue and not the individual. Documents not included in the board pack can be tabled at the meeting to be read later, but are not normally debated at that meeting. Likewise, briefing papers are not to be read during the meeting. The direction of the chairperson is to be respected and complied with. Board meetings are open meetings, but not public meetings, which means others are welcome to attend as observers, but they don't have speaking rights unless invited. Occasionally, some items on the agenda may need to be discussed confidentially. For example, they may concern a complaint to the board or a disciplinary matter. Non-members will be asked to leave the meeting and come back after the discussion is complete. This process is called in committee, and only board members and people specifically invited by the board as advisors on the subject can attend. While the in-committee discussion is confidential to the board, any decision made by the board must be made outside of in-committee discussions. The school board members are paid an honoraria of about $50 for attending a board meeting, and board chairs receive $75 per meeting. The IRD treats this as reimbursement of expenditure, and it is non-taxable. The next video covers behaviours on the board. Tēnā koe. Thanks for watching.